Eighth grade, didn't see you this morning, but welcome back and Happy New Year already. I want you to go ahead and start on table of contents with angle relationships, and I'm going to be on page 54. You may not. Go ahead and pause the video as you write that. I'm going to move right along, but I'm on page 54, but I'm going to start on the left side of the page. And what we're talking about is angle relationships. This whole unit is a lot of vocabulary. It's a really easy 4 or 5 days, but please try your best to learn these words and to commonly look back at those. So we have angle relationships, and the first one, and I made a mistake, which is why I started the video over, should be a complementary, sorry, that should be an N, complementary angle. So what does that mean? We learned this in 8th grade, so really this should be a review. Look at the words complementary. Sorry, my pens are dry. And I apologize because I'm writing on this last unit, so it is a little bit, it's sticking up and it's not writing well. Okay, now it's smooth. So if you look at complementary, the word see, what I want you to do is write the word see. And some of you are like, oh, that's right, I remember. And if you notice, I can make that into a 9. Yeah. A complementary angle, or complementary angles, are those that when you add them up, doesn't matter where they are. If I have 2 acute angles right here, if I have A and B, if it is a right angle, A plus B must equal 90. Okay? Oh, sorry, I was off. All right, the second one was supplementary. And yes, we use these big fancy words, but there's a reason, because we can determine. What I love about angles in geometry is it's using deductive reasoning. You can look at it and it's almost like a puzzle. If you know one thing and you follow the rules, you can find the unknown, which really is a basis for algebra too. So look at the word, and the key is the S, and I'm going to draw an S, and I can make that into an 8. And what that means is that supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180. It doesn't matter where they are, okay, an obtuse angle and an acute angle, but they add up, they're on a line, so it's a linear. So A plus B is equal to 180 degrees, okay? I remember in 6th grade you learned how to, with a nice little compass or protractor, sorry, a compass, you ended up finding what each one would, but on a line, everything adds up to 180, okay? All right, another word that we need to know are adjacent angles. Sorry, my allergies are acting up. And my eyes are watering. Okay. Adjacent angles are angles that are side by side. It doesn't matter where they are. Both of these are adjacent angles. Okay, another example might be these two, right? So, side by side, adjacent. All right, the next one. Remember to use color, okay? That's what helps the vocabulary stand out. So vertical angles. This is a new one for you. Remember, a vertical line would be up and down. So when we have 2 lines that intersect, the vertical angles are directly opposite each other, as if in a line, okay? And that will come to play this year. So A is equal to A. These are exactly the same. And B is equal to B. All right, a little review from last year. We have interior angles And then we have exterior angles. Right, interior the inside, exterior is going to be the outside. Okay, and what that means is, let's say on a triangle, you have A, B, C. Remember last year when we took each one of those angles and we put those on a line? Do you remember that? We tore them off, and they added up. Uh-oh, goats are back. That's right, A plus B plus C. Is that really the goat? When they add up, it equals 180 degrees. And that's right, so what we know is we can, if we are given two angles, we can always find the third, okay? Now, the exterior angles, we have A, we have B, and we have C. Then we actually add another one, and it's called D. And this is our exterior angle. Now let me ask you this. If we know that they're on a line, right? So these two angles must add up to 180. But we also know that these three angles add up to 180. So could we make the assumption or a rule that says that angle B plus angle A is equal to angle D? Okay? Because we know that A plus B plus C is equal to 180. Okay? And these two have to add up to 180. So always remember that. All right, moving right along. Let's see how much time I got. Oh, I got plenty of time. Okay, so new to this year, we have angle congruencies. When we have parallel lines, and we're going to do a lot of this tomorrow when you come to class. In fact, we're going to be dancing on the floor with some music. Parallel lines and oops, I am so sorry. See, I had 2 weeks break, so I don't even know how to do a video. Transversal. Say that one 10 times. Transversal. So a transversal is something new, but we know what parallel lines are. In fact, you can use the lines on your paper to use those as guides. It is any line. When we talk about parallel, it means that those two lines will never intersect. Okay? Oh, sorry, parallel. They will never intersect. All right. Now a transversal is a line that goes right through the middle of them. So that is a transversal. Okay? So the beauty about these is we know that these two angles must add up to 180 because they're on a line, aren't they? But if I were to take this line and move it up and place this right here, you will find that these angles have a lot in common with this intersection right up here too, okay? There are only two types of angles. You have big angle and you have a small angle. Big, small, small, big. Okay, big, small. In other words, your small is less than 90 degrees. Okay, this is a big angle, it's greater than 90 degrees. But if you notice, let's say, let's just use B and S, okay? So if this is a big angle, and we know that vertical angles are what? They're equal. So the big angle is equal. These two are equal. And then you have your small. And this is a vertical as well. Now here's the beauty of this. I know that if I take this intersection here and move it up here, they would be exactly the same. So whenever you see a transversal with two parallel lines, you can automatically predict what this angle would be if they did not give it to you if this one was given, because there's only two types. You have a big angle and a small angle. That's it. Okay? Now, the only other thing is you have, just lightly shade this. These are called, this is interior. We'll do a little bit more with that tomorrow. It's the inside of the parallel lines. And obviously the opposite would be the exterior. Sorry, trying to find a pen. Use a different one. Miss Kowalski was not ready. Anything out here is going to be exterior. Okay, so so if it's outside of the parallel lines, it is the exterior angles, okay? And like I said, we're going to do a little activity just to kind of cement that in your brains, make sure you understand. But let's take a look at an example. Let's pretend that I have two parallel lines right here and right here. You can get good at this. There's rulers in the room. And then I have a transversal. Okay. So if this is 35 degrees, I can tell you exactly what every single angle is. That's right. If this is 35, this must be 35. If this is 35, these are the two small vertical angles. That means that these two are 35. And we know to find an unknown angle, if it is on a line, I need to do what with the 35? That's right, 180, because it's on a line, minus the 35 is equal to 145. And we know that a vertical angle is always equal. And I know that with two parallel lines and a transversal, that this is going to be exactly the same as this other parallel line. See how easy that was? Super, super simple. And then the last one, and I apologize, I wanted to do this example on the other page. If we had a triangle, and you had angle A, angle B, angle C, and then you had angle D. Okay? If this is 50 degrees, and this is 30 degrees, what is angle B? That's right. It'd be 180 minus 30 and 50. Okay? So to find angle C is equal to 180 minus 50 minus 30, and that equals 100 degrees. Now, we could have done this two ways. So I know that I found angle C, but what if I wasn't asked for angle C? Do I really need to find C to find D? No. All I have to do, angle D is equal to angle A plus angle B. That equals 50 plus 30 is equal to 80 degrees. Okay? And I know that because if angle C is 100, this has to they're supplementary angles, so they both have to add up to 180, don't they? Does this add up to 180? Absolutely. All right, you have an assignment on Desmos, And all you have to do is go to Schoology, and there's a link with about 10 questions. Please put a lot of thought into it. I really want to see your responses, and we will talk about it tomorrow.